one way, fighting.
Hello, you're through to One Way Fighting with me, Neill Smith. And we've got an old friend of mine, a guest, Greg Jenkins. We've got him in work, so he's having a scran while he's talking.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, how are you, mate? You're all right?
With me, yeah, I've been better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for the people watching, lads, they're most likely going to recognise you from when you debuted against Aaron Chalmers on his debut. I mean, we'll get to that in time, but to give them a bit of background on you, obviously, you had a boxing background, Thai background before you started the MMA and that. And then you're most famous for flipping off all the Geordie Shore crew at BAMMA.
Yeah, so I'm 28 now. When I was 13, 14, me and my mate used to go and train. My cousin Lewis Jenkins used to fight for Carbon. When all Lewis was in Carbon, you had your Teddy, Mark Scannell, all the proper old school Carbon, like the serious fighting force. And I remember watching Teddy Etten fight in the UFC, thinking, I want to do what he's doing. Yeah. So you get 2 buses every Monday and every Wednesday up to Carbon. I used to do a Thai class and Luta Livre. Luta Livre is like a poor man's jiu-jitsu, but it was a lot more effective. So in Brazil, like the favelas, if you've got money or you're a gangbanger, you used to do Luta. So it was like the back street jiu-jitsu, so it was proper, you know what I mean? It's like you'd have people who do judo now, and you'd have your fellas and shaking hands and all that, and like messing around, and then you'd have your Brazilian. It's a completely different sport. So I was doing that till it was for about 2 years. Got nowhere because I didn't have a clue what was going on, but I was just going at the funk Carbon kit and all that.
Yeah.
And then my good friend, my uncle's best mate, Alex Foreman, opened up a gym round the corner from me. So I was getting 2 buses twice a week. So 2 there, 2 back. And when he said the gym was open by a man, I was made up. So I started going to Alex. And I remember saying to him, it's funny this, you can ask him about this. I've been able to do head kicks in Carbon. Alex was already a tested and trialed Thai fighter. So I threw a head kick on this bag and went on my back. Hit me head on the floor. He was like, no, we need to start teaching you how to do Thai. So from about 15, I was with Alex for about, how long is that now? Talking 6 or 7 years, fighting Muay Thai. So started doing Thai, started enjoying it. My hands weren't always the best, but I can kick. I've got big legs. I was always a kicker. So I'd always set people up with my hands and then just boot their legs off them. And I was doing all right in Thai. Had a few unlicensed boxing in there, make a little bit of money. We used to go up to like Bolton and fight for like £100 and fight this jip for 3 minutes. 3 2-minute rounds or stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
I see you fight the kid from Glasgow, Connor
Watson.
Yeah.
Your
hands weren't that bad there. That was just a little bit of boxing, that, lads.
The first time I boxed. Yeah, the first time I boxed. I was about 14 there.
Yeah, 14. You look big for 14, lad.
No, actually, no. I was about 15, 16, actually, when I was thinking about it. But I boxed him twice. The first time I boxed him, he was this up-and-coming good amateur. And it was I beat him, but it was in the way show, and it was a draw. Everyone knows in it, and all these jocks come over to me and said, "Hey, you fucking won that, lad." You know what I mean? And they all knew. And then I remember Neil, this fella in there, when we walked in, because Glasgow's like a proper starving capital, and this fella looked like he'd been used as a canvas. His face was literally scarred to death. And I said to me, mate, he's moody in. And I remember after the fight, he came over to me, and he said, "Connor's my nephew." I was like, oh my God. He said, come here. I said, Connor's my nephew. He said, you fucking beat him. Hold your head high. Give me a pint. I was like, fucking hell, fair enough. Thought he was going to stab me or something.
Lads, the Scots though, they wanted them, they're mad. But if you go in there and show what you're about, they're happy.
Yeah, the good people, mate, the good people. They're just the real, aren't they? So then they called the promoter, a fella called James Ward, who runs EBF. I remember him ringing and saying, there's another show here. So we went back up, and Alex, something happened with Alex, a personal problem. So only 3 of us went up, drove up. Me, Jack Flynn, used to fight
I was
for
going to
next.
say Jack Flynn was in the corner, lad. I know Jack, yeah.
Jack Flynn's one of my good mates. Jeff Flynn was in my corner, and Paul Gubbert, no, Luke Bennett, my other mate, who's fought. And we went up, and then that time I leathered him. That's the one you see on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I done him on that. But I didn't like, if you watch Jack Flynn's fight, my fight, and Luke's from the same now, we've all got the same shorts and boots on.
Have you? Yeah. I didn't know Jack was on that. I'll have a watch at Jack's.
Yeah, well, Jack fought this kid who was about 3 stone heavier than him.
I used to like watching Jack come out because he'd have Z cars, the Everton tune on.
Mate, Jack Flynn, I've been told this by Paul Rimmer. Jack Flynn is one of the most naturally talented kids ever.
Lad, I watched him, he fought, was it the ACB? He fought Jeff Agenda, who's still going. Yeah, and he's technically great, lads. Just everything he did in that fight was perfect.
You can't hit him. I've sparred him and you can't hit him. He'll be there in front of you. He's a southpaw, but he'll be there in front of you, like that close to you. And you just throw shot and he'll just lean or sit or... He's unbelievable. But obviously he's got his own life and that got in the way. And he's got a baby and he's happy, so good on him. But if he would have decided to go for it, he would have went all the way. Fact.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I remember I was in that amateur title fight and I was sitting there just like trying to psych myself up on that. And he was going out just before it. And he just wandered out like he didn't have a care in the world, lad. Just like he wasn't psyching himself up or not. He just walked out, come back in with the W, and he was just like, another day.
And he's got a chin as well. What we used to laugh with Jack because he had a fringe. Every time he'd land a big shot would land, it looked big, but it wasn't really. Do you know what I mean? Like he has got a chin. I've seen him take some shots, but every punch looked like it was rocking him because his fringe used to fly back every time he get it. But it was just because of his.
That lad.
Mate. Definitely not.
Nah, but he's a solid fighter, lad. I'd like to see because he went to Next Gen from Alex's gym, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in there because that's what it was. When we were in Alex's gym, we were just Muay Thai when we were in Marsh Lane. We had no MMA background. So if you want to make MMA, we're not going to keep hold of someone we can't do nothing for. Do you get what I mean? That's why Darren Till used to fight for Mazda before. Darren Till went from Sapphire to Mazda, had one fight for Mazda, and then said to Alex, I want to do Thai. So Alex took him to Carbon.
Yeah.
Darren knew Terry Etten before outside of his Alex relationship, but Alex introduced him to Carbon and took him there because he knew he couldn't do anything for it because he wanted to do MMA.
Yeah, mate, Darren Till's just another level, any lads.
I remember we were doing this. He come back when he hit the UFC. He started doing seminars around gym, making a bit of money and that. He comes to our gym, and because we used to train with him, like obviously we used to train with him and spar and that, but it was never sparring. It was just play with us, you know what I mean? Because he was that good. And I remember at the seminar, he done a spar with everyone at the end, like one round. Obviously there was loads of different kids there. He was just playing with them, like tippy tapping. When he sparred at me and Luke, he absolutely fucked a pair of us. I remember we had 2 showers. Lad, he had 18-ounce gloves on.
Proper headache time, was it?
So like at the start of the session, you're like, yeah, like he's letting on to us and saying, use us for demos and we're all made up because we know him. But then it turned around and the tables turned because we knew we ended up fucking the pair of us, you know what I mean?
That's the thing though in Carbon, like every time like people train there, they say, it's like it's dead friendly sort of atmosphere and that. But when you get into it, you get in the mix, they go, lads. It's like when they say about American Top Team and that, like Cain Velasquez and that go too hard in sparring. They train, lad. They beat the shit out of each other.
It's ridiculous.
You know, you're in a fight if you fight one of them, like.
Oh yeah, not half. You know, you'll always know you've trained. So. Yeah, so I've done Thai for a good few years, fought on decent shows. There was a show called Infusion in Holland, which was like a K1 massive promotion. They done a show called Rookies, and this is the thing about Thai. You can never be, you need a bit of luck in Thai. Like even Liam Madison, he never really goes on it. He's got fight streaks, but it's never one way. Do you know what I mean? You'll go beat a few people, and then you'll get fucked by someone. It's that unpredictable Muay Thai. I remember fighting on this show called Infusion Rookies, and it was basically a feeder show to go and fight in Holland on a big, massive world stage. I was in the Blackian town. They fought this kid from down south and stopped him in 30 seconds with low kicks. As soon as I come out, touch gloves with him, low kicked him once, I thought he doesn't want it. So just set it up and finished him. Mate, 2 fights after, I got stopped. Got stopped with punches and got stopped with kicks. Then I won after that. There was no consistency with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think with Thai lads, it's one of them, mate. I've seen people go in and look like they're game for it, and then just others go in look like they're not game for it. I think you just, I mean, I watched you that was that Colin Taylor, was he?
Oh, lad, yes, you know that fight. See,
he didn't look like he was the same weight class, lad. He looked about 4 weights heavier.
I was out. He broke my nose there in that fight. He hit me with a Superman punch into that, and he broke my nose. But again, I took that on 3 days' notice. You know what I mean? I was just from between about 2016, January, February, right through to the Aaron Chalmers fight. I didn't train properly for the fight. Right through. No, that's all, mate. I know what it was, mate. I had a 7-year cocaine addiction, Neil.
Lad, you're like every other single person from our age group in Liverpool, lad.
No, I know.
I love the city, but you walk into a pub toilet, lad, and all you can hear is the fucking... It's just rife in all the fucking schools and everything, lads.
Yeah, it's bad. Like obviously, I'm 4 years clean this October, but I go into when I'm out in town, we bed in a restaurant, and you just get a lad who'll look at you in the toilet and he'll go, "Got one of them." It's like it's a fucking normal thing. Imagine saying to someone if you got a fiver or something, like it's proper desperate, isn't it? It's horrible, lad. But yeah, so I had a 7-year cocaine addiction, which started when I was 17. So people don't realise this. I first took it when I was 17, then I never went back to it. Then I got on it again when I was 18. Then from 18, it went downhill till I was 25 years old. It went downhill, and I was fighting while I was taking it. I fought a kid called Joel Taylor from not Joel Taylor. Joel, he's from Next Gen. He's like a goth kid. He's a bit of a mad, strange kid, but he was like a erratic, eccentric kickboxer. And I fought him for the ISK Northern Area title on Carl Ryan's show. It was over the water in the Polton Vic Social Club. I remember the night before, staying in my nan's, and I done 240s while I was in bed. The night before. Because lad, but here's the difference. I never, if someone has a line now, they'd be like, you wouldn't have known. I would look like this, because when I used to wake up, I was down there, lad. So for me to feel like look like this, I used to get it to pick me up. You know what I mean? I was never off my cake on it, because how I handled it was that my threshold was that high, because I was absolutely abusing it. Lad was having like 3 grams a day minimum. You know what I mean? Like that's like
every day.
Every day, lad. Every day for like 7
days.
So I can't say on here, just in case.
Oh yeah. Go on.
Basically, it went from I had a full-time job. I was working, but then it went from doing favours for favours, so to keep hold of it and this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's set the better, lad.
Take your wages out of that, stuff like that, little things like that. You know what I mean? And then obviously getting in debt, getting on strap, bills, people at my door, you name it. But yeah, I remember turning up to the fight, for the ISK title, doing pads with Alex. And Alex knows me more than anyone else. He used to come and knock at my door, waste the time at my door, and make sure I got out and ran for every single fight. Like,
I've only met Alex 2 or 3 times, mate, but all I ever hear about him is good stuff.
Yeah, do you know what? He's had a bit of a reputation. Not all good, not all bad. But what he's done for me has been unbelievable. Unbelievable. He was always there. Like, and he was always there when I never wanted him to, but I needed him to be, you know what I mean? So like there was times where, so that day, the next day he gets up, goes for the fight, hitting pads, and it was like being in a dream. So obviously I was fucking coming on and come down. I'm trying to hit pads and I had no power. And I got in the ring and I just froze, and he just booted me for 5 rounds, beat me on points. That was the thing with me.
Who was that Corin?
This Joel kid from
Joel, oh yeah.
On Carl Ryan show. And I just got booted, just weren't doing nothing. But I was doing enough to not get stopped. That was the thing with me, Neil. I wasn't the most aggressive attacker, but but I'm tough as anything, and you won't knock me out and you won't finish me. You know what I mean? I've got a chin.
Lads, I seen that fight. The reason I brought it up was because it wasn't your result on that Corin one, but lads, it was a war. That lads, you were back and forth. Like he was throwing like sort of single shots and stuff, trying to take it. He got a few leg sweeps, but you were throwing like double kicks and coming in trying to put combos together and that. And he looked physically bigger. That was my first question.
I feel like I looked at unnatural in a fight, and I don't know what it is. I've never looked the part, but I'm tough, you know what I mean? I just turn up and give it everything. So then when I thought that Corin was, we had the lads fighting, and on the way down there, I fought him twice, Corin.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time to draw, I think. Yeah, she's only beat me once, yeah. Turned up to Chris Knowles' show. He's a massive Muay Thai fighter down in Watford. And we went there, and one of my mates was fighting on the show. Alex was working on it, and he said, "There's a fight there, do you want to take it?" No, sorry, do you know what it was? I drew with him first, and then his opponent pulled out, so I said, "Do you want me to fight you, so you've got to fight?" He was like, "Yes, sounds." Because I just weren't asked. At the time, mate, I was fucking sniffing coke every day. I had nothing to live for, and I was thinking, I need a bit of excitement in my life, so I was just taking fights. And do you know what it was, mate? When I look, I've had like different kind of therapies and counselling and all that, and nothing's ever worked for me. We've tried AA, you name it. But over the past 2 years, I've started to look back at my life, and I honestly feel fighting was a way of self-harm for me. Because you know what? I used to get off my head Monday to Thursday. I'd go to the gym on a Friday night in Mazda, and we used to punch fuck out of each other. And then I'd never go and take coke that night. I'd take it the Saturday and the Sunday, but every time after that the fight, I wouldn't go near it. So it used to make me feel better getting fucking digged and having a strain with someone, you know what I mean? Like, it used to feel, it was like a therapy. And when I've talked about it now, people are like, that's like self-harm in a way, that. Like, you're medicating through pain, aren't you? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's weird, mate. It's weird. So then...
How did you get out of it in the end? You said you're 4 years clean now.
Yeah, and then I committed suicide twice. 2017. So the start of 2017, so I took all the tablets, got my stomach pumped. In 2017, on the 4th of October, booked off the Travel Lodge in town. Took 1,500 quid worth of drugs with me. Was there for 2 days straight. Was going to hang myself. Sat on a windowsill on an old horse. I was thinking, I'll either jump or hang myself. This is the horrible bit when I look back now. I was thinking, my mum, I drove my mum to a breakdown. My mum was on all antidepressants and that, and completely broken down because of what I was doing. Because I was having it in her house, so she'd come home from work and I'd be off my cake in the bedroom. You know what I mean? She couldn't, she was worrying constantly. But I was thinking, she's sad the way she is now, but if I kill myself, she'll eventually get over it. That was my thought, mate. You know what I mean? Like, that's a scary, rational thought.
Yeah, it's what you think, lad. But I've got 2 kids; it'd never happen.
I know that. I understand that. But at the time, I was thinking she will get over it eventually. But at least she won't be in pain every day because she'll soon subside. You know what I mean? So I was thinking to myself, I'll either jump or hang myself. That was my next option, just for 2 days in this hotel, just taking coke all day on my own. And then I seen my nan sat on the windowsill. My nan passed away when I was about 7 years old, lad, and listen, Derek Acora and all that ghost programs are absolutely bullshit, I think. I feel like there's a higher power, but there's not ghosts, lad. And then I see my nan clear as day. She said my name, I turned around, and she looked at me, and I shit myself. Next minute, knock on the door, my uncle was there with his mate. He said, and here's what happened. I rang someone to go and get more stuff. Just by chance, I'd never got off this one kid. This one kid knew my uncle, rang and said, listen, is Greg Jenkins related to you? Same, his family said, yeah, it's my nephew. So he's just rang me for some of that. I want to let you know where he is. So I've seen me nan, and half an hour later,
this kid's just worried about you.
Yeah, lad, a grafter as well. I've never had it off me in my life. I had a number for him, rang him and was like, look, and he was like, where are you? I'll come and drop it off to the hotel room, so you don't have to come out. I'm thinking of happy days, see you soon. And then my uncle knocked. So I think it's his grafter knocking on the door, and my uncle's there with his mate. And then after, here's the maddest part about it, Neil. So for every day, for I say 7 years, but from like 19, it was the worst. From 18 to 19, it was just every weekend, but it wasn't really an addiction because I could go home and call it a day. From 19, it was more or less every day. I was walking around at like 68, 71 kilo. Naturally now, I done fucking 15.5 stone now. You know what I mean? So walking around at like 12, 13 stone because I was never eating, none of that. I looked awful. I've lost my train of thought there.
No, mate. Like, to be honest with you, I never knew this about you, Greg, because
well, this is all this.
I've either known you through the fight scene or through a mate, Mikey Malone, and like we've just sort of talked bits and bobs here and there. Like,
Malone, can't put a face to a name. Who's Mikey Malone?
Big ponytail with a.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, good lad. Yeah,
that's our face. That was our face, met. Yeah. I think we were in the village pub.
Yeah. So that's how it come about, mate. So I was doing that to myself and just constantly taking stuff. So from 19, I was taking it every day. So that night, mate, I went to my uncle's and I seen my nan. And the same day, my uncle's got a picture of my nan at the end of the bed, and a picture stands like that with me nan. So imagine that's the front, the picture of my nan. It's leaning against the wall. And then that morning, the picture was like that, so the picture of my nan was down and things like this. I think bullshit, but it happened to us, and it was for a reason. The next day, I woke up with my uncle's and never wanted it again. Never touched it since.
Oh, so it was just yourself? You just put a stop to it, yeah?
Went from every single day. Oh, yeah, just stopped. Stopped like that. And don't get me wrong, there's been twice where I bought it and it's been found by someone. It's been found by someone. Luckily, that's happened twice in 4 years. But that was like a year ago. Bad time, but no excuses. I had an urge and bought it, and then when I bought it, at the age went straight away, and I was like, shit, I've got this now, what am I going to do with it? You know what I mean?
Me ma used to work doing social work and stuff, but she used to have to do the drug rehabilitation and stuff like that. Yeah. And she said, forget smack, forget crack and all that stuff. She went, cocaine has got the biggest mental pull on anyone. She said, I always remember her saying she had some big juice head from Tocky sitting there, and he's basically saying, if you put talcum powder in front of me, I'd be urged to sniff it just in case. He said it was that bad the draw for him. Like she just said, the amount of people they get in for cocaine addiction is, in comparison to anything else, is up there. Like just said, it's one of the worst drugs, because it's just like, you think you're having a good night, everybody's laughing and smiling, they're all sharing it round. But then, like you say, you just get into this chain where it's just your money's gone, you're always on a downer, you need more and more and more.
I remember I started to hallucinate when I wasn't on it. Like, I remember going to work and being on a bus, lad, and everyone's eyes would turn into crosses, and I hadn't had it. And I had to jump off the bus and had a panic attack. It was like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? It was horrible. But the thing is, like, why I'm so... I don't train in Master anymore. I do CrossFit in Pioneer. So, because I'm interested in me weights and that. Like, for me, before I go back into that, like, some counseling works for some people. AA works for others. The 12 steps works for others. Like, none of it works for me. Exercise works for me. And the best way to put it, Neil, is I imagine your petrol gauge in your car. When it's at low, that's when I had an addiction. And when it's full, that's where I'm at now. And every time I train, I keep that needle to the right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Every time I make a choice. It's like my diet now, boss. My diet from Monday to Friday is cleaner than I ever was as a fighter. Saturday, Sunday, I have a pint in that. But I have to keep discipline in my life. I've got to. Otherwise, if I ever make a bad choice, I think, if I do that, I'll do that. And I overthink to the point where, like, I could say to you now, I just had scrambled egg and chicken. If I would have had a Mackey's breakfast, I would have thought, if I'm doing that, what am I going to do at the weekend? And I overthink, and I'd never get back there, ever. But that's what I think.
I understand that. I had Jamie A on the other week. And and I was saying to him, I've got like an addictive personality. If I'm training, I'm like if I'm sat in front of the telly and she's got Hollyoaks on or something like that, I'm thinking, why am I watching this? I should be doing 30. This could be 30 minutes on the treadmill. Or if I'm eating something, I'm like, this could be what I've got to do an extra 20 reps of fucking whatever, just to cancel that out. I get that addictive personality, but at the same time, not so much doing stuff like the lemo, but like getting on the aisle for me. If I go out and have 1 pint, I'm feast or famine, lads. If I'm doing something, I'm all out.
Yeah, same. And that's why I never ever went on a lad's holiday, because I knew I would have died. I've never been to Ibiza. Serious, no serious, mate. That was a fully conscious decision. I've been sober, I've been off my head, and lads have said, come to Ibiza. And I've said no, because I knew for a fact I'd die. I wouldn't come back. I'd be one of them kids who jumps off a cliff or something, or goes missing on tablets. So I never ever went. I've never been to like no lads holidays or nothing, because I knew
the fezzies, the festivals and that.
So when fezzy when I was younger, but it was never. That was like 16 before I'd even had a taste of the life. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go to a fezzy. Like, I'd love nothing more to Glastonbury, but I wouldn't enjoy it because I'd panic about what the people around me are thinking. They'd be worried and I'd be worried what they're thinking. Do you know what I mean? I just wouldn't enjoy it. I enjoy exercise more than no. So going back to Alex, so I don't train him as anymore because I'm doing my own thing, my own training. But me and Alex have never had a better relationship. We don't speak as much as we used to. But the thing is, mate, it was tough at the time. Alex was aware that I had a problem, but he wasn't aware of how bad it was. So he used to get me fights because he knew that used to get me training. But I made that dangerous by sniffing coke while I was training for fights. So when you look as an outsider and you look back, I'll be honest with you, there was a time I left Mazda and to Next Gen for a bit, and Alex was fuming. From my point of view at the time, Neil, and because I'm mature enough to say that now, I was thinking to myself, and I said it to my uncle, I said, look, he's a cheeky bastard. He fucking put me in fights when he knew I was off my cake. That's dangerous. He's putting me in danger. That weren't the case. That was my ego, mate, justifying myself leaving the gym that's looked after me for so long. Do you know what I mean? When I look back now, what it was, he knew the fight, as I've said myself, kept me straight and disciplined. He knew if I had a fight planned, I'd be in the gym 5 days a week. He knew he'd see me twice a day. So for him, that was his way of keeping me safe. But I looked at it the other way because my ego was saying, no, he's a cheeky bastard, all this. But it weren't. He cared, you know what I mean? He loved me. And he had care for me. So this fight come up, and I remember getting a phone call Friday night. Do you want to fight Aaron Chalmers off Geordie Shore? When he's taking the piss. I said, no, really. He said, a lad from Tocky, one of our mates, he said he's his agent. K-Do is, I think it is.
Oh, right, yeah, go.
Yeah, it's Zorba who runs the Olympia.
Yeah.
His brother.
Yeah, no, so I've heard of him. Like, I've never spoke to him, no direct.
Zorba had the Olympia, obviously used to do all the Omax and all the old school cage gladiator shows in the Olympia with like Terry Etterman, Severs and all, Richie, all them. And so it's Zorba's brother. I remember saying, sound, and he was like, it's going to be on NTV. I was like, really? Yeah. So then I goes home this one day and thinks, right, pack everything in. And I just never made just carried on getting off my cake. Remember they said the fight was at 70 kilos, that's welterweight, and then I right to say that. I was going to
ask you because I remember at the time the weight issue, lads. Because
the weight was big. Let me just have a look what weight it was at.
It was meant to be welterweight. He came in at 170 officially on the weigh-in day, and you were 163. But you could see he was more like 180.
So,
or you doing it in keys?
Let's open the story up. So, gets the fight. Starts training. Does me training in Carbon for the fight, by the way. So I done my whole. When I say camp, 3 weeks. I trained for that fight. 3 weeks. 3 weeks while taking coke every other day, if not same day. Going to Carbon, getting absolutely tortured in Carbon by. There was a kid who's you know, Mohammed Makayev.
No, I don't see him. Right.
Oh, mate, you'll have to watch Mohammed Makayev. So he's called Mo, and he's basically.
Oh, No,
Yeah,
sorry, yeah, I didn't
Brave.
recognise him by his full name, yeah.
Yeah, Mo Makhayev, yeah. So he's the Brave champion, I think, or #1 contender.
Yeah.
Unbelievable amateur record. He was in Carbon at the time because his wrestling is through Mike Grundy, through the wrestling team. So Mike Grundy, he was Mo's coach. So he was in Carbon, and I was going in there getting absolutely ragdolled by him every single day. Dad was training with Darren in there. Mike Evans, a few of the lads in there. We were going in there like 5 days a week, doing the morning sessions in Carbon, by the way, which, as you know,
There's all the
I'm
pros.
for the faint-hearted. I remember ringing Alex and saying, well, I'm not even going to get to this fight at this rate because I was broken, mate. Absolutely broken. I remember going to take Mo down, he sprawled on me and my neck went down, then quick, impact on my neck. I couldn't move for 2 days. So I lost 2 days with 3-week camp, you know what I mean? Couldn't move. I remember getting a sports massage in the gym because my neck was in bits. So the weight cut was fine because I was low anyway because I was skinny like a little baghead. No, but this is probably one of the best weeks of my life. Goes to the hotel on the Wednesday, the fight's on the Saturday. Goes to the hotel on the Tuesday, the weigh-in was on the Friday.
Got
Goes
that
up
beat
there.
at the weigh-in as well, didn't you? You pushed them and that.
Yeah, see, I'll get to that in a minute. Something funny for it as well. So gets there. John Kavanagh's there with Kiefer Crosby. Good lads, them, speaking to them. But I was like in awe because I'm an MMA fan and I'm looking at all these kids in BAMMA and all these fighters come over to me like big fellas and going like, make sure you do us all proud and fucking know he doesn't belong in this world. And I'm thinking, I don't fucking belong in this world. I'd never rolled in my life, mate, when I first had him. I'd never rolled. I'd never done MMA ever.
Well, it was your debut as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd never put a gi on. I'd only done luta when I was a kid, but I didn't remember any of that. So gets told the fighter's 70 kilo. So I'm bang on weight, in serious shape, but obviously not like malnourished, look like a kid off a fucking BBC advert. And gets to the show, goes to the weigh-in. I weighed in for the normal weigh-in, the proper weigh-in, and then he goes in, and someone goes to me, wait outside, please. I said, well, I want to watch him weigh in. He said, wait outside. So I had to take him outside. Didn't even know what he weighed in at. Didn't see it. So we do the ceremonial weigh-in, comes in, and it says, that, oh, by the way, the fight's at welterweight. I think, I'm confused with these weights here, mate. I think, so what's 70 kilo in pounds?
I think it's 2.2 pounds to a kilo, so it's what 140, 150 in it, something like that.
So basically, he said that he thought he got told a different weight. We all know he never. So I weighed in a 70 and he weighed in a 70.
I remember the whole fiasco, lads. He come in about 5.
I weighed in a 70. I weighed in a 70.1 and he weighed in a 77.6 or something like that. Yeah. So then he rings me and his manager rings me and says, look, do you still want to fight? I said, of course, I still want to fucking fight. I'm not asked by the weight. I've come this far anyway. I had nothing to lose. But I was like thinking, because when I seen him in person, I was like, he's not that big. He looked drawn. So then it gets to fight night. And I'm like, oh my God. Goes in the hotel and that, get me hands wrapped. And I seen him and I said to Alex, lad, he's fucking massive. Huge. And I listen, I don't care if you can fight or not. Someone picks you up at that weight, they're picking you up at that weight. You can't do nothing about it. So another interesting thing is, you're not allowed to use IVs now, are you? And obviously, it didn't. So I went to the Manchester Institute of Sport for my medical. I got a blood test, Neil. Yeah? Test you for PEDs, recreational drugs, and anything that can aid your performance. They took a drip from my arm and took 3 blood samples. That morning, I was sniffing coke and I passed that test. How? So if I'm passing it with cocaine,
48 hours to pass out your system, I think, innit? For those types of.
Yeah, I did that morning. I remember Alex ringing me and I said to him, I've fucked up here. I've had something. And he flipped. Absolutely flipped. He said, if you weren't fine, I'd have smashed your head in. He said, but obviously you're going to have marks on your face. And I went to the gym, sobered up, had a sleep, loads of vitamin C, and then we drove up to Manchester for that, and that happened again on media day. I'd done it again on media day when we went up to Gracie Bar in Birmingham to film a media day. I'd done it again. I'd been up all night on that. And Alex flipped again, but I was saying to him, lad, please, this one, I put him in an awful position because when you look back now, the most sensible thing would have been for him to say, he's not fit to fight. But out of care, he knew what kept me sane, do you know what I mean? So it was a tough decision for him, and I respect that. And I think ultimately, he made the right call. I think by letting the fight go, whether it was dangerous or not, I stayed a lot more focused, because what I would have done is gone from, I had that opportunity to have fucked it up. I would have went off the rails completely, you know what I mean? So,
I mean, it's one of two things, lad. Either you need a new fucking dealer, or BAMMA just said, let's just not talk about that. We've got Aaron Chalmers fighting, and he's fighting. And that's what they wanted, because they got Geordie Shore, MTV and all that. If they
exactly.
that drug test has said you've got to pull you from the fight, they've just ignored it.
Exactly. So look, so the fact is I've passed that test when I shouldn't have passed that test. So how has he put that much weight on? I honestly think there was some kind of water aid in how much weight he lost or how much he put on back on. You can't do it, especially when you've got no experience in the game. You can't do it. It's impossible, lads. So then, turns up to the fight. One of the best nights of my life, whether I got beat or not. It was unbelievable, mate. I felt like a superstar. Like, just getting wrapped up all the fight, watching it. I remember Mike Wooten was fighting from Liverpool, from my academy. Yeah. I've always looked up to him because he's a fucking good lad, and he's tough. And I've always looked up to him, and I remember he'd been in the same changing room as him, and he was like, winked at me, like, come on, let's go, let's smash it. I'm thinking, this is unbelievable. Remember, behind the curtain, it's all dead quiet. When the curtain opened, just this noise erupted. And lad, give me
goosebumps like that as well, lad, yeah.
Unbelievable, mate, unbelievable. So it comes out, and she's seen all them. And that weigh-in, the weigh-in, I got told to do that as well, because it'll generate more publicity, and it did. Aaron's manager came up to me and said, shove him, he's expecting it. It's all fake, you know what I mean? So then, comes up, comes to the fight.
Hype for fucking Geordie Shore and that, done it, but...
Of course does. So then the finger weren't planned. I come down the ramp, and I just heard you muppet. So I turned around to Gary and said, you just fucking up that fucking strangle, you daft little cunt. And then I heard someone else, she'll be you fucking little slag, and give her the finger. Then you fucking get in there, but you know what? That Scotty's massive. If you would have jumped over there,
he looks it, lads. He looks it.
Just a big juice head. So then gets in the
cage. I don't even think he's a juice head though, lads. He doesn't look that... He looks tall and that, but he doesn't look big.
He's a big kid. So then gets in, and what happened. I remember landing that first low kick, and it just bounced off him. And listen, I threw it to hit Neill, and I know how to kick. I've stopped people so many different times with low kicks, and you know when you hit him, you think, lovely. I hit it, and it just bounced off him. And then he grabbed me.
Like, to be fair, I was watching that, like the first few sorts of exchanges. It looked like it sort of, he knew it had happened. Because I've done that before when I threw low kicks and that, and it looks like it's not hurt people, and then you spoke to them after and they just grinned through it, even though it's pain, lad.
And just above his knee, and I just thought, wow, and that's sucked the life out of me when I landed down. I thought, and then he got closer, because obviously from the other side of the cage, he still looks the same size, and it's like a monster as he gets closer and closer, and like, fucking hell, getting bigger and bigger here. So he had me against the cage, and he just picked me up and slammed me. And then I remember saying to him, are you fucking messing? Hit me like that. And he had no power in his hand whatsoever. Like Neill, we've got a kid in our gym in Mazda called Jay McVeigh. He's 17, 18 now. When he was 13, he had harder dig than that. Like, that's the one thing that I don't understand, how he knocked people out. Because they were good knockouts, but he has got no power in his hands. Fact. I can stand here and say that. So I remember
most of his hits were on the floor, weren't they?
Yeah, that's it. You're on the floor, yeah.
I always think, but most of his knockouts seem to come while he's standing up, but he's got a bit of an engine.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like a bit of a momentum swing.
Yeah, I've never felt any real pain or like I'm going to be rocked or anything off being hit while on the floor. And I've had some big ass fuckers hit me while they're in mount stuff.
Yeah, but I remember watching.
Rob Beach had boxed with fucking David Day and fucking Tyson Fury and stuff. He had like a 50 pro boxing record, lad, on like...
Really, yeah. Oh, yeah, right, yeah, I'm on Rob Beach from Hammer. Yeah, I'm on him.
Yeah, he was on Eurosports and all that in the big man tournaments. I fought him for that title in the thingy. And, lad, he took it to the floor. I was glad he did, because I thought, well, stand for this, he'd have fucking killed me. But when you're in that mount, what it is, lad, you're not twisting that hip, are you? They just blow an arm. It's just all tricep. And
well, I've been watching him fight back and think, was other ones thinking, thank fucking I've got knocked out. So I wouldn't have ever come back to Liverpool, you know. If I would have got knocked out by him, I wouldn't have ever come back.
That's a good fighter. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a second. So, obviously, I remember being on my back, and there's a time where he's basically got me, it looks like I'm spooning him, lad. And since then, no way, but the same at Mario Sakata for a bit. I got one stripe on my belt and I fucked it off because I just weren't consistent. But I was training regularly with Mario like 3 times a week. And when I watched that fight back, I cringed because I think, how did I not get out of that? Because not the Americana. There's a time where he's got me in a headlock, lad, and his legs are in front of me, and I'm basically behind. All I have to do is turn my hips and scoot out. I would have had this back, but I never. And he won, and that was that. And it was a boss night. But you know what, mate? People still ask me to this day about it all the time. And he's one of the best fucking fellas I've ever met. So genuine, so genuine, like a proper nice fella. And I think to him, you don't, lad. He can make serious money. He can go and throw up outside the club and get paid 10 grand. Just off the papers, you know what I mean? But he's choosing to do a sport which doesn't need to do, and I respect him a lot for it. And then after the fight, that Gary and that come back, and Gary and Scott and Gary come on, I said, fuck off you. I still didn't like it. He's a piece of shit. And I said, fuck off you, Blaze. And Scott was like, well done, mate. And like, they were all sound. The birds were still little snarls, the little scruffs. But he was boss, mate. Proper nice fella, Adam.
Mate, you know what, right? It's like one of my guilty fucking pleasures watching Geordie Shore, lad. Watch it with me bird and that. I do actually like him, and I watched him on Ariel Owani's show when he was going on about Bellator and that. Now, there is one thing with you saying about you having your coke addiction. If you watch that interview, lad, he's blatantly wired.
Yeah.
Lad, he is, and his eyes and all that. But I do like him.
He's been in the paper.
I've seen some of his fights. He's not bad.
He's in the paper yesterday, weren't he? Because he's been drinking on the air bad because he's got bad anxiety.
Lad, I know a lot of people have like said stuff. I mean, it's similar to that Jake Paul situation, isn't it? Like he doesn't deserve it, but he didn't do what Jake Paul's done. Gone and fight people.
Lad, listen,
he's gone and fought proper fights.
Of course, yeah. Like, look, I'm obviously not an MMA fighter by any stretch, but I can handle myself and I know how to fight. And he done what he needed to do, and he won the fight fair. It's great because, lad, you don't understand how many times Alex actually took over my Twitter for the 2 weeks after it because excuse me, sorry.
COVID, lad.
Alex took over my Twitter for 2 weeks after it, yeah, because people were inboxing me, lad, saying that how much did you get paid? And lad, some people asked me, was that real? Did you try? Did you get paid by NTV to do that? No, fucking never. I went in and tried to win. And I got beat. He basically had a game plan. He took me down and he tapped me. And it makes sense. Greg can box and Greg can fight. Why would you stand up with him?
Lads, you seen how big I can be. When I used to get in there and do the jits and that, if someone was technically better than me, I'd lie on him. And I'd just out-strength him. And he came in that much bigger, lads.
The weight was ridiculous. That was only disappointment because, and do you know what? I've got respect for him, but there'll always be that little gap there because he knows what he was doing. I can't sit here and say I was be fair and square because I wasn't. The way I was fair and square, but the things surrounding it. If we were the same weight and that happened, I'd have a lot more respect for him. And lad, you're not the first person to ask me. This is the first time I've ever spoken about someone in this kind of setting. I've been asked by so many people to do it before, you know, I've never done it, lads, because I thought I don't want to, because I'll just look fucking bitter. And at the time, I must have been ready. But I think if we were the same weight and he won the same way he did, I'd have spoken about it many times, and I would have backed him when he was getting slated on Twitter. And I never have. I would have come out and said, look, this is this, and backed him. But I know. It weren't fair and square.
I don't think that's necessarily on him, though, is it? Let's face it. people were asking
No,
you to leave
I
the
know you're right.
MTV
But
and
no,
that.
but at the same time, Neil, if I'm fighting and Alex says to me, we're going to be well heavier than him and we're going to lie about the weight, I wouldn't do it, lad. I couldn't do it to someone because I know how hard it is to train for a fight. And I know if someone's fighting on 3 weeks' notice, you've already got the upper hand. So why do you want to take another upper hand on that? You've already got the fitness on them. You've already got the time you put on the mat on them. You've already got MMA experience on them. So why do you always want to add weight to it? Is your skills not enough? You know what I mean?
It's the money they make off the back of it, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
They want to be 110% that he's going to continue making that money.
Yeah. And what I got paid compared to him was absolutely fuck all as well.
I won't ask you, lad, because
Put it this way,
that's your business, isn't it?
No more than a full-time paid job, monthly wage.
No.
No, is it fuck? Do you know what was mad? I remember signing the contract. An MTV waiver contract, and I never ever read it, mate. And I reckon it probably had some kind of condition that I won't make money off MTV because that's why you make so much money. BAMMA wages aren't the best. You know, they're good, but they're not the best. Yeah. But he made money off MTV. He made a fortune. He had like a 25 grand sponsor or something daft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had Boohoo Men written on his thing on the background.
You know what I mean? But I remember signing a contract and not even thinking about reading it, and I probably signed some kind of waiver to make me not be eligible for some kind of thing because I should have made a fortune of it.
But the thing is, I think they sort of push you in.
Anyway.
But they sort of push you in with the thing that, well, you'll always be known as the person who's fought him, so you get fights off the back of it and all that.
Exactly. Like I remember having a conversation with Alex thinking, if I beat him, I'd actually make a career out of it. Then one day thinking, no, I couldn't. I'm not an MMA fighter. What I mean?
Mate.
And it was mixed opinions. There was a few MMA fighters in the city. I won't say who. Some of them were I was getting told. No one ever said nothing to me about it, by the way. That's what makes me laugh. No one ever said to me, you don't deserve it, or directly to my face or in conversation. But I was told by a few people who say with people, the way the fight game is, everyone knows someone that thingy so-and-so said you shouldn't even be fighting. It's a fucking joke how you just turned up and done this. I was like, well, do you know what? Would they say yeah? Yeah, they would. Well, shut your mouth then. Why would they not say yeah to that?
Lads, you had the boxing and K1/Thai background. It was his debut and it was your debut. So why wouldn't you?
But nothing to lose. Even without that, I've got nothing to lose. If you said to me right now, Neil, do you want to go and play in the PDC Sky Darts World Championship and I've never thrown a dart, I'd go fucking too, right? I will. On telly, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I'd smash it as well.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's an opportunity, isn't it? And listen,
but you're both debuting, so
exactly.
Why wouldn't you get that opportunity? What do they want to put up someone who's 10-1?
It was a jealous because the attention. Lad, the promo video got 7 million views on that, lad, Bible.
Yeah.
7 million views. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was on Dave, wasn't it? But it never actually got shown live, did it? Nightmare. Because of MTV.
Yeah, mate. I mean, that was huge at the time, mate. I remember seeing it. It
was in like the Independent and the Telegraph, and I remember seeing it. Oh, it was in all national papers.
I'd shared some stuff on Facebook, just like saying like support stuff for you. I don't know if you'd have seen it at the time. You're probably preoccupied doing lines before.
No, I mean, Nan's grave. I honestly do remember your support for it, lad, because you were always from then when it happened up until this second right now. Obviously, you were always showing support in one way or another.
Lads, yeah, and to be fair,
I remember it.
I do that for anyone, really, mate, because, I mean, the whole main point of this podcast really was, I mean, I don't know you, fucking Alexander Gustafssons and Daniel Cormier's to have a bit. Yeah. I'd rather just do it for, like, sort of...
Greg Jenkins is on.
Yeah, well, no, I don't mean it, like, put you... But, like, just for, like, the grassroots sort of level, and, like, that sort of BAMMA sort of level, like, you know what I mean?
Of course. And do you know what I do remember? I remember you writing a status about the weight when it happened, about how fucking wrong it is that it was happening, because a lot of people didn't understand it. And actually, I'm more thinking about it, more remember it. I remember someone coming on your status and saying something like, just like, get like, don't know if it was the same words, but like something along the lines of like, it's not a big problem, and you basically broke it down in layman's terms of how the weight works and the massive difference it was.
I forgot I'd put that on there, lads, yeah. But I was fuming, lads, at the time.
I remember you fuming because you know what it's about, the weight difference is about. What I mean? I remember it clear as day.
No, I'm glad you saw that then, lad, because I
that's what I remember. I know what I remember, because I remember looking back on the status and thinking, and someone was saying like excuses, and you were like, excuses, fucking this is, and you basically broke it down in like the for a casual fan terms. Like, imagine someone this way fighting someone this way, and this is what's happened.
I've just done it, lad. I didn't realise Ben Askren had to go up from fucking welterweight to cruiserweight to fight fucking Jake Paul. He's just fucking bullying people in, lad.
He's just
picking on fucking lightweights, calling out the best lightweights, and then just fucking being their dad in the fucking ring. Because he's like fucking 10 stone heavier.
You see the way he spoke to Tara Woodley?
Yeah, lad. He's fucking cornerman and that, like. Fucking
disrespectful, mad.
Cheeky bastard.
Really?
Lad, I'd love to go in there. I'd say, yeah, I'll go in and box. I'd just fucking chicken him everywhere.
Yeah. Well, Darren Till said, let's put a tweet on saying, Ben Askren, we should support Ben Askren to do a double leg and chicken him, and then we'll go fund me to pay his wage.
Yeah, I see that, lad. I see that. But you know, the reason to say that though is that's the difference weight makes. I mean, he looked physically fat to make that weight.
It's huge, and it's mad. It's even both ways though, because there's been times where I've boxed. I remember boxing. There's another good fight on YouTube where it got beat by a kid called Brian Costello. I don't know if you've watched that.
No.
The boxing fight. Watch that, Neil. That was probably I lost. That was probably one of my sharpest performances to date. This fella, so Kyle Gallagher, who runs Engine Room Boxing, used to be the Thai coach in Carbon. He's got a gym opposite Next Gen on Kempston Street in town, Engine Room. And he does these boxing shows for like pro, semi-pro, pro, and unlicensed. So obviously semi-pro and unlicensed are very different. People understand this. So unlicensed, you can just turn up, don't even have to weigh in and just fight. Semi-pro is basically a regulated, unlicensed fight. You're on the same weight, you've got insurance, you've proper fight kit, you know what I mean? You look the part, but you're not pro. And you wear 12-ounce gloves, 10-ounce gloves, sorry. So he said, I've got to fight this kid called Brian Costello. I'll try and find a picture of when I weighed in. Lad, I was in unbelievable shape. Like, I actually, for that fight, managed the other shite and wasn't taking it. I was still taking it, but no about, say for example, on a normal week, I was taking it. Yeah, but I'm talking from like once a week. I took it proper serious. And this kid, Brian, was from Boston, but at the time, he was in Chester Uni, and he knew a friend who knew Kyle, so he was training, and he was a pro boxer back in the day. So here you are, where's this finish for you?
Well, lad.
That was in serious neck.
Shape there, lad, yeah.
Mad, isn't it?
I've seen you like that a couple of times though, lad.
Yeah, so that was probably the best performance shape I've ever been in for a fight, for that Brian Costello fight. And in the first round, he was a southpaw. In the first round, he come out and he stepped across. Alex said to me in the changing rooms, whatever you do, when you throw the jab, bring it straight back. Because if you're here, you're going to step round and land, throws the jab. My shin doesn't come back. He steps across, breaks my nose in the first punch. And Neil, I remember it. No blood, but you know what it feels like? Imagine closing your eyes, yeah, and someone poured warm water on your face. That sensation, but inside my face. So I felt it. And I remember and there was no blood. So what happened? He broke my nose on the inside. My cheeks puffed out because the blood had gone inside, you know what I mean? So it basically gone like that, but inside my face. I remember thinking, is
that like when you break your nose and you blow through it to try and blow it out and your eyes puff?
Yeah, so the pressure was inside, lads. So I felt like I had a headache from the first dig. And but then after about 3 or 4 minutes, 2 or 3 rounds, it was a 4-round fight. After 2 or 3 rounds, the pain had gone, I was firing back and I was up for it then. And after the end of round 2, you see me, the bell goes, and I carry on walking forward and said to him, let's fucking go, let's carry on now, like a little knobhead. And because I was just in the zone for it, and we did a proper tough fight, one of the best fights I've ever had, because I gave it everything, and he was just better than me. Then after the fight comes over to me from Boston, and he's like, hey buddy, I boxed guys like you when I was pro, you're tough. And I said, what do you mean, pro? You know, oh yeah, I get done for doping back in USA. I was like, messing. He was like, no, I thought you guys knew that. I said, if I knew you got done for doping, I wouldn't have boxed you. He was like, well, no, what it was, I took like this agent for my legs, and it had like doping something in it, and I got caught by USADA. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, fighting if I was being lost his license because he was a thingy, because he was a fucking product.
I took this thing for my legs, it made them massive.
Well, yeah, he was a nice fella, but mate, he could punch proper hard, and that was a tough fight. I broke my hand in that fight, and I broke my nose, and I was in the hospital. There's a picture in the hospital. Oh, I've got to find it for you and send you another time. But I'm in a hospital bed. I had the septum around a plastic, so I've got the things with my nose, and I've got a cast on like that.
I've seen that, lad, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's on your Facebook, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So I've seen that.
That was just off that one fight, mate, yeah. Broke my hand in the 3rd round, I think.
Yeah. Separate from your fighting, lads, I remember seeing you on when you were ill. What happened?
Oh, lad, so I was born with a thyroid gland, so that means your thyroid gland controls your hormones, how you grow, everything controls basically like your testosterone. So when you go through puberty, your gland basically moderates it. I was born without one, so I'm on thyroxine, which is basically like an artificial gland. Because if I never had thyroxine, I would have stopped growing as a baby and would have died. So for the first 2 or 3 months I was born, I was in hospital in Alderey, and so level thyroxine, I take 225 milligrams every single day with my breakfast for the rest of my life. And this one time I got a new tablet in a different brand, so carrying on taking them as normal. And over the months, I started getting like a puffy face and that. And then my speech started going dead slow, and obviously I speak very fast. So like I was teaching kids at the time, doing a level 3 PT, teaching it. And I remember going, so what's the date? What day is it? And the kid was like, are you stoned, Greg? One of the kids was teaching, I was like, no, I was like, you're talking dead slow, you know? So dead slow. I was like, I've seen Wolf of Wall Street, the K-Ludes.
Oh yeah, when he's calling off the car and that.
Give me the lude, yeah, like that. Melting. So when my manager said, I don't feel good, you know, mate. He said, what, have you drank? I said, no, I haven't drank. He said, you look pissed. I said, I need to go to the hospital, I don't feel right. So goes to the doctors, gets a blood test there, and then he says, right, we'll get your results back on Monday. This was Friday. We all know we don't know our body, we know our body. So I went, I don't feel, so I rang my babe, said, meet me in the hospital, I'm going to go to the hospital now. She was like, why, what's up? I said, I don't feel right. So goes to A&E in the Royal, surrounded by smackheads, tells them what's going on. So then I'm like, my babe's with me, and he said, I could show her weight, which as you'd expect in the Royal. But then I'm sitting there going, she's going, what's up, are you tired? I said, I feel like I can just go to sleep now. So then she goes and gets someone. I said, so they took me through to a bed, gets the blood test from the hospital, and next thing, lads, it's all gone fucking, all hell breaks loose. There's doctors running around me and everything, pulls my curtain open and all that. Like, and this fella ran in, opened my curtain, and I'm sat up on the bed talking to my mum. My mum got there, I talked to my mum, my bed. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to just get a good night's sleep, dead slow. And he looked at me and disappeared. So then I'm like, where the fuck's he gone? About 10, my mum goes in, I said, where's the doctor? We've been told it's emergency. So the doctor comes back and goes, are you Gregory Jenkins? I went, yeah, why? He went, you're supposed to not be conscious. I said, what do you mean? He said, so get on this, Neil. My thyroid level is 12 out of 100, yeah? If it ever dropped below 5, I'd be admitted to hospital, yeah? Right. For safety. My thyroid level was 0.2. My body was going into an induced coma. So what happened, lads? My body, the tablets weren't absorbing to my body. So for 3 months, I'm taking these new batch of tablets, but they're not working. So they're just going, I'm pissing them out without realising, but I'm still taking them day to day because I don't feel any different when I don't take them. But if I'd never took them for a while, I'd end up like I did. But I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if I've missed. I obviously take them every day, but if I don't take them for one day, nothing changes. So I'm taking them regularly and just start thinking. I remember in work, lads, I walked up the stairs and I felt like I just done 100 squats with that burn you in your quads when you're squatting.
Yeah, like the lactic acid feeling.
Just one set of stairs, I was like, fucking hell, I'm sorry, yeah. And that's what was happening. My body was going to a coma and all the blood on my muscles was draining, so my body could basically relax. So my legs had no oxygen going to them, my muscles had no oxygen, and my brain was going to a coma, which means that's when my speech was slowing down. So I was in the Royal for a week. Done a week in the Royal, lad. So they said...
I remember seeing the pictures, lads, and I'd seen you not long before, you were ripped. And then, like, I seen you and you'd look like you'd lost all this weight and that. I was like, what the fuck's happening?
On the Monday, I got a text off the doctor saying your blood is fine. But obviously they weren't fine because I got missed into hospital. So I showed the doctor and the doctor flipped. I said, excuse me, look at this. And he went, oh my God, wait, what doctor's he in? And I remember him flipping. But just found this picture. So they said to me, if I would have went to sleep, the next time, there's an MRI scan on me and that, the next time my brain was basically 12% shutting down. If I would have went to sleep any time over that weekend, I wouldn't have woke up. So just the fact that I went to the doctors myself had saved my own life.
Goes to show, lads, some people shrug stuff off and just say, nah, I'll be all right.
Like,
you got to get yourself checked out, lad.
Mad, innit? I've got a picture here and my face was like, my pedo says to herself, like kicks herself now and she goes, how did I not know? Because there's pictures of me here around the time and lad, my face was so puffy because what was happening? My brain was like swelling and there was loads of fluid in my body, you know what I mean? Scary, lads.
Fucking insane, that, mate. Ross?
Yeah?
Pass me charger, will you? No, I'm just trying to charge the laptop. Sorry, mate, I'm just going to keep the laptop going.
But then I look back now, and when I look back at me fighting and that, like there's something in me now, Neil. I know that I've been through all this shit. I've got over a severe addiction. I know if I fought, it'd take a lot to take me out. And I'm a lot more mature. And I'm only 28 and I still think, shall I just have one more fight? Shall I fight again? You know what I mean?
Lads, you've got loads left in you. I'm 37 now, lads.
Always in, just in that little thing with myself.
Do you think like you'd be all right though? Like where you say it's like that pain sort of relief type thing?
I think I would. I think I'd embrace it, to be honest with you. Because I know I've got my discipline now. One thing I never had. I've got my self-discipline. So obviously your self-discipline, your discipline is turning up to the gym, never missing a session. Which I've never done anyway. I never ever missed sessions. I just didn't train regular. So I've got my discipline, my self-discipline. So making decisions when no one else is around me. I've got that. I've got my determination and I've got over it. So no matter what situation I'm in a ring is never going to be worse than the situation in what I've been in already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand, mate. Yeah.
I'm a lot more mature. I'm clued up more about my training and my recovery. I think I could do it, lad, but I just think about fuck weight cutting. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to all the time.
What do you walk around as now?
I'm about 15-1.
15-1.
He's looking about 92 kilo, 91 kilo. But I'm only 5.
Plugging this in while I'm online, lads.
Yes, Dad. So, we are. How swollen my face is.
Doesn't even look like you. I remember
my eyelids are proper puffy. Mad, innit? And like, and when I got out of hospital a week later, I just look normal again. That's in black and white, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, I couldn't see that.
You can pasty there, aren't I?
But lad, that's like one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in terms of the. I mean, I know obviously you've lived with it all your life, like, but that's just I've never heard of that.
Crazy. And do you know what? There was a time, Neil, where I remember the doctor pulling me and saying, do you know, you should really go and get medical negligence. You would make you'd get a fortune, because I wasn't made aware. But apparently, there's a law that when your tablets are changed, you should be made aware, and you have to agree. You have to agree. If you're on lifelong medication and a new brand makes it, you have to send an agreement form to say that you're happy to have that. But I never got that. And
How many years ago was it?
About 3 years gone.
You've got usually
you've got
3 years statute of limitation to do it.
Well, this is the thing. My health, I wear an ass. I didn't want money out of it. I'm happy that it put things in perspective. Know what I mean? My life. So I'm happy. I'm healthy again. I'm not really asked.
Well, I used to be in the solicitors, lad. If you ever change your mind, do it quick, because you've got like a 3-year statute of limitation on it.
I'm happy in my job and I earn enough money, you know what I mean? I just thought, at the time, I wasn't angry, but then I thought, after I got out of hospital, I was like, there's more things to fucking worry about than that, you know what I mean? Can't be with a court case and all that business and constant paperwork. Just
is what it is, lads.
Exactly.
People will be getting older, you know, ambulance chasing you after this.
Yeah, not that. Being involved in that, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah. But, mate, your fucking story up to now is unbelievable, lads. I mean,
it's crazy.
I was just wanting to talk about your fights and stuff. I didn't realise half the stuff that's gone on. It just shows.
Yeah, that's why it just shows that. That just proves that it's fucking. People don't know half of it. Like,
yeah.
People say to me, "You didn't really try hard in that Aaron Chalmers fight, did you?" I did, but I had nothing in the tank. I was as a person, I had fuck all going on. I know what I mean. I had a severe addiction. Like, fighting was the last thing on my mind, but it was also the first thing. It was a vicious circle, mate, because the fighting kept me where I needed to be, but what I was doing took everything away from fighting.
Yeah, and even if you didn't, when you went to ground, even if you had a bit more of a background, you had some serious weight on you.
Oh yeah, regardless, yeah. Like that, they're one of the things, ifs and buts and maybes. He won the fight, and I respect him for it. And on that one, that's a closed book. But it's just the difference in what happened and how I was around it was mad. Like, do you know what's mad, Neil? When I can't remember. I remember the fight, but like I can remember sports day when I was in year 6 in 2003, 2004, clear as day. But I can't remember the feeling I felt when I was in that week fight. I don't feel like it was me. Do you know what I mean? When I look back, looks that much has happened since then. Like, it's like when I watched the videos, it's like watching a different person. I can't remember being in my body at that time. It's fucking weird, proper weird.
I mean, like, how much of it do you reckon? You know, you said you'd had a line in the morning and that. How much do you reckon that was still? Were you completely sober by the time that you were in the fight, or?
Oh no, not day of the fight. I didn't have
the weigh-in.
The weigh-in, the media day, and the medical day, and the media day. So the media day is where we filmed the promo, when I was doing pad work and that. I got interviewed. That was on Lab Bible, and the medical day was where you go and get your blood tested, and you go and pass your medical. And here's a mad one for you. Chris Lamb, who's the UFC doctor, Chinese-looking fella. I can't say that Chinese, so let's cut that out. He is Chinese.
He looks Chinese. He looks Chinese, lads.
Yeah. Lad, the fight nearly never happened. So the day before the fight, the Thursday night, we're in the hotel, and I get a phone call off the doctor. Come meet you in Alex's room. He said, on your MRI, they found something in your... what the fuck was it called? Let me just Google something there quickly and I'll find it. Lad, it was like a... cerebral. What was it? It was basically like in your brain, yeah. If you look at like a brain, like on a scan, something in the inside is like, should be like, say it looks like a kidney bean, yeah. But I had an extra bit on it on my brain scan.
A Neill gland or something.
I'm not sure. I'm
just naming things.
Yeah, vortex, yeah. No, but lad, it was like cerebral something, and it's a medical condition. And they were like, if you get hit on that part of your brain, you can die. So like the fight was up in air on a Thursday night, and I remember saying, so what I had to do, we had to pay a medical to clear it. So, I shouldn't have even. I forgot. That's just community. I've never ever told anyone else this except you. The only person who knows that this is fucking inside info, Neil. The only person that knows this is Alex, because not even my bed knows this. I forgot about this completely till now. So Thursday night in the hotel, I remember being in the downstairs, and Adam pulled up in his Lamborghini, and we got out of the fucking Delta, and basically what happened, he said, if you the medical staff at BAMMA aren't happy for you to fight, because if you die, it's on us, and your brain, there's something in your brain that's basically very, very sensitive, and it shouldn't be there. It won't affect your cognitive function or nothing, but if it's impacted, you won't. So if I was he said if I was an NFL football player, basically, or high impact, I would never be able to play, because if my brain gets rocked in this certain area, I could die. So we had to pay someone, find someone. I remember Alex making phone calls, find someone to medically pass me.
That's
mad, innit?
Lad, just the fact that you know
there's
that,
3 or 4
and you went in and fought anyway, lads.
What do you say then?
The fact that you knew that and just went in and fought anyway.
Oh, lad, no, I'm stopping me fighting. I used to I love it, lad. I did love it. That's what I mean. The passion isn't there anymore. I used to love nothing better. Like those times we have boxing fights that are unlicensed, Neil, and I've gone out and starched people for a round, and I've felt shit because I haven't took a dig, and I've gone out and let them hit me and thought, like, now we go. I'm like, I used to spar on a Friday night. If I ever just warmed up, went to spar, and I get proper filled in. But if we done 3 for 3, which I'm sure you've done, where it's just 3-minute round in the tyre, leg in the tyre, 3 of my hardest, 3 yours, non-stop for 3 minutes. If I'd done that before sparring, I needed the dig to wake. I was like a gremlin. I needed the dig to wake me up, like the gremlins with light, you know what I mean?
It gets rid of that, like,
it's the worry, the panic, the fear.
Yeah, there's no more caution. It's like it gets rid of that.
Thinking about getting hit is much worse than getting hit.
Yeah, there's no anticipation for it anymore. You've took it, and it's out the way then.
I used to enjoy it a bit. Like I used to remember getting rocked, or someone hit me with a shot, and I'd be like, fucking boss that, and then go back at them, you know what I mean? I used to actually enjoy the pain of sparring hard, finishing, and aching for days. I used to love it because you feel like you've earned something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mad. But so I
remember the way you say that 3 for 3. Like they don't do that. They don't do that really much anymore in gyms.
Too much science behind it now, isn't there? Which is fair enough.
I think.
Yeah. A lot of people spam head guys. I don't know, don't they? But I think people are thinking about longevity. But you go to carbon, mate. It still happens. They're having it with 6 ounce and 8 ounce gloves on. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, lads, I think at the start of your career, it's a good little thing to just get that out of your system.
Massive. We do it with all. When I used to coach for Alex, we used to do it with all the kids in there. It's boss for confidence, and it takes away the fear. People think getting hit is the worst thing in the world. It's not. It's the best thing that happens to you. And I honestly don't believe. I've said this. I've actually said this in the interview for BAMMA. Until you've been hit, you don't know yourself.
Yeah, no, you don't. We used to do 2-on-1 as well.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible.
But if you get like one kid in the group who's like a bit sort of reluctant, and they're new to it, you put them in 2-on-1. That's the worst that's ever going to happen to you. 2 people twatting you. So go in there now, compose yourself.
Because I'm only small, lad. I haven't got an ego, mate, at all. I'm 5'9", so I'm not tall, but I'm not fucking tiny either. I've got no lads who are well smaller than me who've got issues with that, you know what I mean? But I've never had an issue with my size. But what I always have felt in every gym, I've always looked for the hardest bars. Always. I always, like, it's mad. It's like an alter ego. I remember, like, going to next gym, sparring, put my gloves on, and looking at fishing, thinking, do you think you're fucking mad? You know what I mean? I remember looking at fishing, thinking, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? I never said it to him, but in my own, I think, let's go and have a fishy. Do you want to go? He's like, yeah, go on, Sam. Thinking, let's fucking have it. And I had a tough spar with Fishy. Rocked me a few times. I landed him with some lovely shots. And then Adam Wilson, another one. tough as fuck, mate. Adam Wilson was unbelievable. I remember sparring with him and he rocked me for days. But I like that. Adam had a good tight power. Adam Ventry. It's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy looking at people going to different gyms. Like when I've been in different gyms and looking for the mat and thinking the hardest spar, let's fucking go for it. You know what I mean? I know for a fact you can't take me out.
What's it like to train under Paul Rimmer?
I didn't really train under Paul, to be honest with you, because he wasn't coaching the classes at the time.
Oh, wasn't he?
It was Ellis Hampson. It was Ellis Hampson, Adam Ventry, Paddy weren't really, he was injured. It was good. Same with the two, Adam and Jay Small, my mates anyway. Same with them two. They're tough lads.
Mm.
Two twins, two ginger twins.
Liverpool's a gold mine for gyms, lads.
What?
Liverpool's a gold mine for it.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
You got Jason Tannen MMA Academy. You've got
the one
Next Gen's just full. Cabon.
The one gym I've never been to, that MMA Academy. Thing is, mate, what I liked the culture in Next Gen. They were very, very welcoming. And obviously the fact that I can look, I'm no top fighter here by any means, but I can look at people respect me because I can look after myself. I'm not a divvy. And people know when I turn up to train, I give it 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, anybody who goes to the gym and just wants to be surrounded by top fighters has never been to a gym.
Exactly, but the thing is, in some gyms, like in Next Gen, you'd see lads who've been going there for months or years, and they were never in the gyms. You've always have your cliques in gyms, no matter what gym, no matter who you say you are. You've always got your groups, and in Carbon, obviously, I was only a kid, so I was never near anyone in there. But when I went to Next Gen for a bit, I was only there for about 6 months. I was going like 3 or 4 times a week. I gravitated towards all the lads in there because I'm Sam, I'm one of the lads, you know what I mean? And I went
Paul
from
Weck still in there?
What?
Paul Weck.
Yeah. Like one of the
he doesn't look, if you see him out on the street, you wouldn't think nothing, would you?
Unbelievable, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But like, so when I first went in there, I'd end up like, you know, you sit on the mat and you wait for the class. But then eventually, I'm going in and sitting in the office with the lads and you just gravitate. It's a kind of it's a respect thing, innit? You know what I mean? Like there's lads who go in there week after week after week and they never ever go in the office or they never sit with the fighters and that. But I always seem to gravitate towards them. But the difference was, when it comes to sparring, you'd see these lads who come every week. You'd see Fishy need a partner, or you'd see Adam Wilson or Andy O'Connor need a partner. These are tough lads. People go away. I'd go right to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're only going to fucking win. It's going to be tough, but you're in a fight. This is what I don't get. You're in a fighting gym. It's going to be hard. Someone's trying to hurt you. So don't look for an easy way out in a fighting gym. Just don't go to a fighting gym if you want an easy way. You know what I mean?
It's one of them. You don't get better if you don't fight people who are better than you.
Exactly, and there was times where one of the lads was training for a fight. I think it was Nathan Fletcher, and he was doing well now at the moment. And he needed an extra body for wrestling Shark Tank. And my wrestling's not the best, but I'm alright in not getting taken down because I've got big legs now. I can make a wide base. And I said, yeah, he was like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." And he fucking ragdolled me everywhere. But then after that, he respected me. So like, you helped me out there, needed the body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to throw yourself in there. You've got to.
Mate, yeah, there's a big culture of people going and just want to put profile pictures up on Facebook.
That's it, mate. But people at the end, you'd have the hard sessions. And mate, I remember going in there and leaving with shiners and bloody noses, feeling sore because I'd been punched fucking for 6-7 rounds by all the top fight squad. And then I remember Carl Dilks was in there, the boxer. He had an MMA fight. I remember sparring with Carl and he fucking bladdered me. Didn't drop me, but he done me in. I'd be at the wall and he was doing me in. And I seen the round out as always because I'm tough. And then you see lads who just walk around the edge of the mat to avoid it. But when a team photo comes in, they all run over and jump on a team photo.
Yeah. It's
cringy, you know what I mean?
Like that. Yeah. We're all leading in with whoever's the biggest name in that. Yeah.
Wow, mate, that's another thing I don't like, mate. This does my head in. So if you're going to make a picture and you put your hands up on a picture, why'd you do that? What's the point in doing that on a picture? So many people do it all the time. It does me head in, you know.
What's this like before the fight and that?
No, lad, this is just in general. People who train in martial art gyms who've never
Oh, you
fought.
mean doing the team picture they're doing that?
Yeah. What's the fucking point?
Don't know, I'll be slapping their hands down saying, shut up.
Mad.
What are you
It's
doing?
mad.
Stop
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, crazy. Some of the stuff you see in gyms. But yeah, I always done well in gyms because I was always willing to put myself through it. Always. Like I remember Joe Lee Jono from Bayars.
Yeah, Lee, yeah.
So Lee's into his boxing now, and Lee's tough, very good
He's been
boxer.
smashing that out for years, lads, because I left 4 years ago. And he was boxing then.
Yeah, so I remember going to the gym this one day, and one of the lads, a big heavyweight from Bootle, I won't name him, said he was supposed to turn up and train with Lee and give Lee 10 rounds sparring, because Lee had a fight the following week. No, it's 2 weeks. It was his last sparring session. This lad let him down. I said, "Dad, jump in with you." He was like, "Fuck off." I said, "Really? I'll jump in with you." And we went at it, and he fucking jabbed the head off me for 10 rounds. But he needed that, you know what I mean? And I just worked him. And me and Lee have always got respect for each other because I'll always help the lads out. And even if it's at the cost of my face or a black eye or nose, it doesn't bother me.
Lee's a big fucking dude as well, man.
Mate, his jab is unbelievable. It was just like walking. It was like putting one of them gloves on his sticks. It basically me just walking into that for 10 rounds.
Or just jabbing you with a big stick.
But I could work him. I might not land on him, but I kept him moving, kept him working, and that's all you needed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. I mean, I was always heavyweight, and I always found if there were only lighter fighters in, then that just means I'm just working on my speed and my footwork.
Yeah.
That's what I always used to think, lad.
Yeah, it's you can get anything out of any spar, can't you? Anything at all. I've sparred with kids who've had 2 Thai fights, amateur, and I've thought, right, this man, I'm gonna work on my footwork. Where should my feet be? You can get everything out of any spar if you try. And do you know, mate, you know what? He was one of the. Obviously, I've seen how much weight Alex has lost now.
No, I haven't seen him.
He was like 30 stone or something daft. 30 stone or something daft. Let me find you this and show you this, mate. This is unbelievable. And here's the thing about Alex Foreman.
I know he was trying to lose weight. I remember seeing something on Facebook.
Even when he was big, mate, he can still throw a high kick. You know what I mean? He's one of the smartest fighters I've ever seen in all the gyms I've been to. His IQ. He might not have always done it in fights, but Joe's IQ, he can see things. So he's a very good in that way. Yeah.
Mate, that's always the difference between what your body can do and what your brain thinks it should be doing.
That's what he looked like. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, ready for this. For this now, mate.
Fucking hell, lads. He's like a different fella, isn't he?
Mad, isn't it?
That's nuts, mate.
The lad, and listen, I've sparred with Alex plenty of times when I was younger, and he's so fucking quick. He always jokes about it, but Alex plays chess. He was in chess champions when he was in school, and that he was good at chess. Played like regional chess finals and that, and he knows what you've done before you threw the shot. So he's you can't predict how to spar him. He's dead hard to work with. So I think he should fight again, 100%. Because
how old is he now, though?
38.
Is he?
I
thought he was a few years older.
John Wayne Parr got knocked out the other night. He's 57 and won championship.
Yeah. I had Sean Hammer on not so long ago, and I remember he did because he's 46, 48, something like that now, Sean said. Yeah. But it was only a couple of years ago he fought on FCC.
Yeah, I remember that Sean's fight, yeah. Good lad, Sean. I like Sean.
Ran through him, didn't he, lad?
I like him. Good lads, them. Do you know what? I went down there to train for Aaron Chalmers as well.
Did you, yeah?
Yeah, done 2 sessions there. Got
absolutely rocked with Connor?
Absolutely rocked by Brian Knight with a left hook.
Did you, yeah?
I had a fucking 4 foot and he just left hook come from nowhere.
He's a good fighter, lad.
Unbelievable. But lad, they were very helpful. Do you know what? They taught me, I learned more. Carbon toughened you up. But in terms of learning, Sean was so patient. Like I remember doing drills for 3 or 4 hours in there, back against the cage drills, live drills with Connor, and there was another kid in there, Daniel Randolph, is it?
Danny Randolph.
Yeah.
He's fucking movement, lads. I saw him fight slip and roll and everything.
Yeah.
He looked like a boxer fighting
Reminds me of Dan
MMA.
Hardy. Reminds me of Dan Hardy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, with his get up with his hair and that.
Yeah, but he looks, the way he moves as well, he's very Dan Hardy-ish, isn't he? But yeah, Sean done a lot for us, mate, in that fight camp. Sean was actually in my corner at the night of the fight.
Was he? Yeah.
Alex, yeah, him and Sean, yeah.
Sean's one of the best personalities in the whole of the
Mate, he's
the
unbelievable.
MMA community, mate, and he's got time for anyone.
Well, you sort of weird. Every time I see him at a show, whether he's got someone fighting or not, mate, I've been coming in from a fight, from a corner, from the ring with a fighter. Sean's about to walk his lad out, and he's going, Greg, what's happening? Ask how you are. Just right before a fight, you know what I mean? Just a good fella. I wish him all the best, mate. Good kid.
He was in the opposite corner when I fought Rob, obviously because Rob's in their gym.
Yeah.
And he turned around to me afterwards, and he went, "Fucking hell!" He went, "When you and Rob went against the cage, he went, I thought the thing was going to do a fucking wheelie. Is it that big?"
Yeah, I can imagine. Where did you used to train, Neil?
Well, we had our own gym, didn't we, in Crosby, opposite
Was that
opposite
Mike?
Mike's Chippy, the small one, yeah.
Was that with Thingy? What's his name? What's the fella called? What's his name?
Clark Champion.
Oh really? No, there's another fella from Crosby. Mickey
Uppin.
Yeah.
No, he's behind South Road. And by the way, if you're in the area and you can train in Mickey's unbelievable, lad.
Yeah.
I've only gone down there once or twice, but my mate Cooper, he's in there all the time, and he doesn't train people doing the weapons and that, but he is qualified too, and he just knows everything. He's nails, lads. He's been around for time.
I've heard a lot about him before. Yeah, I've just heard over the story over the years. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of them, mate. You wouldn't want to fuck about with him.
Yeah, can imagine.
He can turn you into knots.
How many fights did you have in the end?
Fucking hell, lad. So I had, you could say, into gym, unlicensed or whatever, about 12, and then I went in and did the 2 amateur, and then I'd done like bits and bobs abroad, but fucking probably all in all going on about like 16 here and there. But like I say, mate, the 2 big ones really were just the amateur MMA for me. Yeah. And I managed to get fucking, I lost out on about 4 or 5 fights on the, no, actually there were about 6 or 7 on the bounce where people just kept pulling out. So I ended up taking Rob Beach, lad. And that was just, that was a title fight for my first amateur, but I'd smashed up a few people in there.
Fight Rob in the first place, mate, whether it's planned or not, that's an achievement in itself. He is a scary big motherfucker.
Oh, lads, I'm telling you now, lad. He's sound guy, so speak to him every now and then.
Yeah, I've spoken to him. He's lovely, isn't he?
He was, I think he was thinking one point wanting to move away from Britain. Yeah, I think he just wanted, like, because I'm in Gran Canaria, and he was speaking to us about that, like, but I don't think any of that transpired. Like, he's got his kid and that now, hasn't he?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that was the thing with the Thai fight, I should have said before. That was the issue with Muay Thai, mate. You'll have a fight and you're out for 2 or 3 weeks recovering. So you could never have consistent with Thai fights. Obviously, because I was only at a low level, like a medium level, I wasn't that conditioned. Like Liam Harrison could fight twice every 8 weeks, you know what I mean? But lads at my level, I remember fighting and winning, and I couldn't walk for a week because my legs were fucking done in.
Yeah, mate. I mean,
and that's another thing now. Like, I'm happy in my job, and that's why sometimes I wake up and think I'd love to fight, and then another day. And you know what's funny? Every time I think about fighting, I'm always pissed.
Yeah, but lads, with that thing in your head, is it wise now or what?
Exactly. See, exactly.
You looked up with your beard, lad. I see you on Facebook with your beard and that. You don't want to upset him and go get yourself killed.
That's the real reason. She says no.
Yeah. I'm with your beard knowing that, lad.
Yeah.
Your health is foremost, mate. It's one of them. Whenever you see these boxers, like I watched the hot boxing Mike Tyson with Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns and Shane Mosley. And Tommy Hearns is just visibly like punch drunk still, lad. Your health is first and foremost, mate, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I might go and start training again some way though, because I do miss it. I do miss punching things and kicking things.
Yeah, well, that's my next.
Even just sparring, it's rewarding, isn't it?
Lad, I've just been in the gym, lad, throwing as big a weight round as I can. That's all I've been doing.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. So I contradict myself because I also love to, I love the CrossFit. Train 6 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm so consistent in the CrossFit now, yeah.
Mate, that's like the new thing, innit? Everyone was doing that, what was that thing called where you'd run through that assault course and they'd like set you on fire and shit?
Total
Big
Ninja
Mother or what's it called?
Yeah. Total Ninja.
Yeah, no. It's called like Big
Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder, that's it, yeah. And everyone's running through going, oh, I'm crawling through mud and shit like that, and there'll be someone hitting you with sticks or some shit. That was big then, and then CrossFit's the one now, isn't it? Like everyone's...
The difference is with the CrossFit though, you do get people who come and go, but for me, lad, it's the best programming for me because you work with your percentages. So obviously because the gyms have been closed. So September last year, when I first started, one of my mates said, he was doing a circuit. It's a mad story, another mad story for you. One of my mates was doing a circuit and he had this 5-foot fence, what you jump over. And at the end of the circuit, he done 5 reps, 10 reps, 15 reps to finish. So he done 5 fence jumps, 5 burpees. He done 15 fence jumps, 15 burpees in like 5, 10, 15. Took him about half an hour. And he rings me on the Saturday night and says, lad, how long do you reckon it take to 1,000 of them? 1,000 fence jumps over a 5-foot fence and 1,000 burpees. So you do a burpee and then jump over, burpee, jump over. So what we thought is, we'll line up 4 fences like that. Fucking new props there. Line up 4 fences like that, yeah. And we'll go burpee over the fence, burpee over the fence, burpee over the fence, burpee over the fence, burpee over the fence. There's 5 reps, marking on the chalkboard. See, we've done 1,000, took us 6.5 hours.
I think you put that on Facebook, didn't you?
Yeah, it did, yeah. Lad, I burned 6,000 calories.
I think I was sweating watching it.
Absolutely one of the stupidest, insane, mind-building things I've ever done. But off the back of that, I joined, because I never knew that gym was there. I was just training in like a little weight gym, Fitness Connection in Seaforth. And
is that the CrossFit one that used to be in the MMA place that Christian had in Seaforth?
No, that's round the corner. That's Sandy Road. Fitness Connection is by the park.
Oh no, I know which one Fitness Connection is. I mean the CrossFit one.
Oh no, it's on Kingfisher Estate by Tesco, by Screwfix.
Oh yeah, go on.
So that's where we done that challenge. But I'd never been there before. I was just in the Fitness Connection, just turning up and doing weights and just like not doing much, just like ticking over. And I went in and when I seen that, it was like fucking unbelievable in here. So I joined. And what happens is, mate, you do a fitness test when you first start, and then you just do like your 1 rep maxes for your bench, your dead, your squat clean. If you can do a snatch over it, do that. Your clean press, and then what you do each week, every workout's 40, half an hour to 45 minutes. The first 30 minutes are split up into 2 50-minute segments, and it'll be metabolic conditioning. And it'll be weightlifting, so complex stuff or like dynamic lifting stuff. Then the last section is strength work, but you put percentages in. So say for example, on Monday we were doing bench press, so I would have done 60% of my 1 rep max. Then Tuesday, so each week is 1 movement. So by the end of next week, I'll have had a new 1 rep max in me dead. Do you know what I mean? On my bench press. So it's clever how it does it, because you just turn up and you just train, but you're actually making progress through percentages, and it's very subtle programming. So you have a massive chalkboard with all your like percentages on, and the coach will look, because you've got to book a class. So here's the clever part, mate. This is a headache for the coach, but it's what it does. So he'll know who's booked onto a class. He'll look at the percentages and he'll see who needs work where, and he'll plan a session based around that. So every session's exciting, but every single person in that is working towards something. You know what I mean?
What's your big 1 rep max? Which is your best?
My bench press is crap. My deadlift probably 210
That's not bad.
kilo. But I'm only, but I've neglected that. I've done that last year. I need to work on that more. But you know what it was? Ego gets in the way sometimes. I go in and think, oh, I can do this. But I've started to be a lot more realistic now. Like yesterday, we were doing bench press and I went to about 70%. And my last set, I thought I'll go up here. I thought, no, I won't go up. Keep, you know, we just stick to one thing. And over time, it'll get better and better, obviously, if you keep with it.
Yeah, lads.
But ego gets in the way. Like I've seen people turn up and do sessions and they're working at like 99% of the 1 rep max, but they haven't done 1 rep because the form's awful. I'd rather, like, I know I listen to my body sometimes. I'll turn up Neil and I think I feel good here and I push it, but sometimes I turn up and I think I feel good and then I think no, I don't. So I don't train now for like, I know a lot of people, I post like me heart rate monitor results on it just to show I've done a session and that, but there's lads who go in the gym and they're like, I've only burnt that many calories, and I think, what? Some sessions I go in and do not much and I don't feel like I've had that much and I've burnt 700 calories. Some sessions I go in and I've fucking pushed the pedal to the floor and I've only burnt 300 calories. Calories mean nothing. That's just energy expenditure, isn't it?
Yeah, you see, mate. For me, like,
that's a new culture.
I love the weights.
As well, I watch faces now and I look at my Apple Watch, look how many calories I've burnt in the session. That's a whole new culture in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. I've been looking at the tag ones, lad, but I'm not allowed to spend that much money on something so stupid, like.
Yeah, fair enough.
Me bed is fucking crucify me, like.
I'm just scared of getting that wet, to be honest with you.
Lad, they're all supposed to be waterproof and that, aren't they? But
lad, I've got that. That's only a Samsung, but I don't even get in the bath with it because just in case.
No, don't blame you, lad. How much does that set you back?
What, 330, I think.
That's not too bad, lad.
It's like the lower end, like, but it's only because I've got a Samsung, so it makes sense, you know what I mean? And the calories aren't direct, they're not precise on this. That's why I've got the polar heart rate monitor, because they're bang on.
So it's a heart rate monitor, and that's the big thing.
For them, that was 90 quid, but the thing is for that, Neil, why I buy that, they tell you when your recovery, when you need to recover. You've got the app, like this app here, the polar app. So what happens, you go on here and it shows you, with the, should have all your training days on it, what you've trained, your intensity, and every few days I get a notification saying active recovery session today.
I was going to say active recovery then, yeah.
So some days I get in, I think I feel sound, but if it says active recovery, I listen to it and I just do. I'll stay within heart rate 3 for an hour on a bike or a row machine. I'll just roll at a good pace for like 45 minutes to an hour. Then the next day, I always feel unbelievable after it. So it's right what it's saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, lad. I went in yesterday throwing serious weights about. I think I could do with active recovery today, lad.
That's what I mean, because you start to feel, obviously as you're getting older, injuries become more known. Like my knees now, before I get an MRI on my knees, because my knees are fucked now, so I can't have any impact, can't run or nothing anymore. I went for a run the other week for 15 miles and I hadn't trained for ages. Just woke up this morning, I thought I want to push myself today, and I ran 15 miles in 2.5 hours, and it fucked my knees. Done me, so I can't run at all now.
I've done, lads, yesterday, lads, I went in, did shoulders, and I used to get like bigger erectia, lads. Like if I wasn't big, I'd feel like fucking shit.
Really, yeah.
People walking past looking at me thinking, fucking hell. I'd be like,
huge as well.
Yeah. So I went in the gym, and I used to be like doing like shoulder press with the 60s seated in that.
Really, yeah.
Like serious weight. I went in yesterday, and I was like, because you can't get anyone to spot you because of COVID.
Yeah.
Sort of like standing, swinging them back up onto that, and then starting. And I'm like thinking to myself, I've been doing well at the minute. I thought, I'm not going to just swing the fucking 40s back up and that. By the time I'm thinking that, I went, fuck it, let's throw the fucking 45s up. Fucking swinging them back up. I swear to God, the front of the bench nearly went with me. I was like trying to blast them out by myself, lad. Threw them up and did it. Felt lost, got home, went in the garden with the kids, swing me round, Dad, swing me round, swinging them round. And then it just felt me back, just felt like shit, I shouldn't have done that. I'm in fucking bulk, like, you know what I mean?
That's damage, yeah.
Yeah, no, lad, I'm just stupid. I'm stupid. If I see someone lifting big, I've got to live bigger.
It's easy though, lad. Like at the moment, I don't drive, and there's times where, like yesterday, I was getting to the gym and it's booked for a certain time. I left work a bit late yesterday, so it was like the bus come and I went to running and I thought, fuck it, it's not important because just naturally running for the bus. But then sort of a run, I won't be able to train because my knees give me both serious pain, lad.
Yeah, don't need that, lads.
Exactly, so be careful, haven't you? There's loads of boss CrossFit gyms out in Gran Canaria, isn't there?
Lads, did you go to Ryder's Gym, did you?
No, but I've never went to the gym, but I've just seen people saying over there. But I've got a mate who lives over there, but I'm not sure whereabouts. But I just know the CrossFit gyms over there are a belter, they're proper kitted out.
Yeah, there's Ryder's Gym, that's the big CrossFit one. But if you really want to train, lad, you go to Flex Golf Fitness. I'll put a little tag on for him, actually. Lee J, Ben Stone in there. Lee J's like a fucking pro bodybuilder and that. And doesn't matter what you want to do. They got CrossFit on there. They got Robbie. You see, I was going down for ages just seeing Robbie. Robbie's a boxer and that. So I'm not going to say how much it was in case he's up his prices. He might have been doing me a favour. But I was just going in there doing our sessions for him for dirt cheap. And he just run me round on the pads and that for an hour. And he's good, Robbie. He knows exactly what he's fucking talking about.
My team, next time we come over, we'll have to catch up because we're going to come back to where we were last time.
Oh, yeah. Where did you stay? Did you stay in Amphi or?
We stayed in the what's the name? Oh, what's it called? I'm sure it's called the H10 or something. Oh no, it wasn't H10. It was Ocean Hill.
Oh, Ocean Hill up in the Europa Centre.
Logan, yeah.
Nah, it's that's Puerto Rico, that, but Mogan's like Sefton.
Yeah, is that not far
Mogan's
from
like Sefton, like the county, and then it's Puerto Rico's the town.
To get to you, we got like a taxi. It was a while, like I think.
Were you right at the top of the hill?
Yeah, right top of the hill.
Daughters.
Yeah, that's the one. That's where we were.
Yeah, it's nice, that, mate.
Boss there.
Yeah. Awesome. Ocean Hill's all adults only as well, isn't it?
Yeah, adults only, so we're made up, lads.
Yeah.
Made up. So we're going to go back there over the next few years. So next time I'm over, I'll come catch up with you with train, definitely.
Lads, you're talking about the CrossFit, so where you're at the top of that mountain.
Yeah.
Lad, I used to go running one mountain down, up that mountain down, and then back up, back down, back up, back down, and then across the front where they got that walk. That's really? That's my local run, lad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep that local run.
Go running, lads. I go running back in the mountains and that, and there's like waterfalls and shit.
Is there? Yeah, I just can't, anytime I put any impact on my legs just fully lock up, lad. Both sides of me and sides of my knees.
Yeah.
So I'm on ibuprofen, an ibuprofen gel.
What, did you reckon you done your ACL or something? What?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's cartilage. It's wore away.
Yeah.
Because it's like the shock. It's like the shock absorbers on my knees have gone. That's what it feels like. Anytime I go down, I've got to go downstairs dead slow. Luckily in work, our stairs are carpeted, so they're dead soft. But if I go down my normal stairs, or like if I'm going somewhere like Liverpool one or upstairs and it's solid, I'll make the shocks. I get shocks up my thighs.
Lads, I've looked at it because I've got water on the elbow there. I've got problems with my rotator cuff on my left as well. Yeah. And I've been looking at like how much it is for that stem cell, but it's like grands. It's like expensive, like it's one of them.
It's expensive.
Lads, I've only just hit 100 subscribers on this. It took me 5 weeks. So when I hit a couple thousand, lad, and they start paying me, then maybe I can afford me stem cell treatments.
Yeah.
Go fund me, lads. Go fund me. Yeah. But lad, look, we're on about 2 hours here. I could chat all day, lad. I'm trying to keep them shorter and they keep getting longer. But lads, that's a boss story, lads. Your whole thing. You never want to come back on or anything, let me know, lads. But anybody who says that shit about you as well, about the Aaron Chalmers thing, lads, just tell them to fuck off.
Doesn't bother me, lads. Doesn't bother me because I've said so many people, you wouldn't do it. You fuck that. So shut up then. You know what I mean? Because what it is, you know what it is? And this is my whole ethos. So basically now, just dead quick, what I do now, I work for the Reader in Calderstones Park, in the mansion house in the middle of the park. And what we do, I'm a young person's mentor. I get kids in here who've just left care, who've come from tough backgrounds, and I give them different job day to day, and I make them fail at things. So I give them a job doing something that they don't enjoy. I'll begin doing different stuff in a cafe, working outside the gardeners, working at the front of the house. And when they keep failing at them things, but every time they fail at them, they get better and more confident. Then what we do, we find them a job at the good and we employ them. Because I think there's nothing better than failing. And the massive difference between me and everyone else. Because lad, listen, I'm not going to name them. 3 fighters with more than 5 fights turned down the Aaron Chalmers fight in Liverpool. Don't know, I'm not going to say the name. 2 of them I know 100% were right. The other one was, I'm not sure if it was a rumour, but I know for 100% 2 fighters never took that fight because they were scared, what if I get beat? And that's everyone's issue. They wouldn't have put themselves in that position as me because they were scared of what happened if they get beat. People are scared of failure, lads.
Mate, at the end of the day, if you've never failed at it and you've never tried at it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the whole thing, lads. I mean, you've just got to have more wins and failures by the end of it. That's what you've got to do.
So many people were saying, oh, I'd fuck him, I'd do him. And I was thinking, well, why didn't you call him out then? Because you were very quiet when he was looking for a fight.
Lads, I had some kids say to me, can't remember what fight it was. It was the Rob Beach fight. I'd lost. He got me in the head and an arm after I'd gone through and just like, it was a good fight, lads. Good account to myself, like it wasn't bad. But he went, I was thinking about doing MMA. I never trained in his fucking life. But I'm thinking about doing it, except I'll win my first fight. And I went, lad, I'll tell you what, right? I just got confirmation I was going to fight on FCC. I went, I'll tell Adam Tay now. I've got Adam Tay here. I tagged him in with Adam Tay. I went, I'll text him now and say you want to fight. And like there were about 3 people sat around. I went, so you're going to fight? Oh, well, excuses.
Yes,
they sit there and say in front of other people, I'd do this, I'd do that. No, you don't know the fucking reality of it. I mean, when you get in there, lad, it's a different kettle of fish, lad.
Tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a ball game. So, Neill, well, thank you for having me on, lads.
No worries. Do you want to shout anyone out or anything? Obviously, to Alex Foreman.
Just Alex, mate. I'll have to get Alex on for you. That'll be a good one for you.
Do it. I'd have him on in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he's boss, mate. He's obviously we have no seen eye to eye, mate, but you know what? He's never not been there. Like I know, even there was a time when I was in next gen, and I know he was hurt, but I know if I would have rang him, said what's trouble at my mum's door, he'd have fucking been there before anyone else. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good man, mate. Good man.
Go on then. We'll speak to Alex. I'll get him on.
I will do, Jeff. I'll meet him in a minute for a coffee, so I'll tell him.
Go on. We'll this will be out morning for you.
When's it out?
It'll be out tomorrow, mate, because I'm going to edit it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And anybody who's watching, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. If you really fancy it, go on the website, onewayfighting.com. And we'll be back on Monday, Tuesday nights to talk about the fights over the weekend. So, Greg, appreciate it, man. Fucking awesome.
Take it easy.
No